Hey, what's going on? I'll introduce myself now for those of you who are watching the recording. And then as people get in, we will start to answer questions. So let me know where you're from. If you're just logging on, if you're watching this after the fact, this is going to be a great live. You're going to want to stick around for at least a little bit. I'm going to talk about how to create wealth without using any of your own money. We're obviously going to talk real estate. We're going to talk a few different things, but the main thing is going to be answering your questions and talking about how to create wealth using other people's money. So throw your questions in the chat box and let me know where you're from as well. I would like to know where everybody is from to start this out. If you're just logging on or if you're watching after the fact, make sure to hit that like button if you're on YouTube or Facebook. Actually, we're trying to go on Facebook a little bit here now, so I'd appreciate it. So my name is Sam. I'm a real estate investor. I own a house buying company. We flip about 250 houses we're going to flip about 250 houses this year. I own that with my good friends, Lucas and Brian. Then I also own a rental portfolio with Lucas that's about $21 million worth of real estate. So I do quite a bit in the real estate investing space. I am here to just answer your questions. So let me know where you're from. We got New Jersey on here. We got, what's going on, Josh? He's from St. Louis. I know that. What's up, Jared? Unfortunately, I have to work out 3, but going to stick around as long as possible. I love that. Stick around and then watch the recording. This is going to be saved on our YouTube channel. Indiana, nice. Nebraska, Central Illinois. I know you, Aaron. Excited you just joined the mentorship. That is awesome. So let me know where you're from if you haven't in the chat box. And what I'm going to do, like I said, mentioned earlier in this live, is I'm going to answer questions. This is the Q&A. This is where I want you to bring me all your questions about investing in real estate. What I'm going to do in this live is I'm going to talk about the market. I'm going to talk about, ways to create wealth, which I hope everybody's interested in. And then I am going to talk again also about, answering your questions. So fill up that chat box. That really helps everything. And then also, if you wouldn't, mind hitting that like button if you haven't, this is going to be good for if you're watching it live or the recording. We got Utah in there, soon to be Missouri, so I can start investing market. I love it. Haley moving to Missouri is a great rental market, one of the best in the country here in St. Louis. South Florida, what's going on, John? Recognize that name, Jared. It is Lifetime. Yes, I like it. It is Lifetime. What are we talking about, though? Mentorship? Yeah, it is. And then we got Florida as well. Awesome. So let some more people get logged on. So kind of have introduced enough. So throw your questions in the chat box. If you have them, I'll eventually get to them. And let me know where you're from. And hit that like button if you have it. Make sure to like, comment, and share. I don't know why you wouldn't share this if you want to help people create wealth through real estate. So let's first talk about the market. Let me know how the market is in your town, in your area. I got pretty good connections around the country, but might as well let me know what is going on. We got the live up-to-date information. So if you're involved in real estate at all in your market, let me know how the market is. I'll talk about how the market is locally and then kind of give a feel for it around the country. So let me know how the market is locally. Pull up the questions for sure. The only thing about the Nebraska market, not a ton. I just know that Midwest is good for rentals. So I think that's a good rental, a good place to buy rentals. Kyle, Victoria, Texas, terrible market. You mean terrible as in it's hard to come across deals? Probably. If you're just logging on, hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Talking market, then I'm going to talk about how to create wealth, and then we're going to answer every question that's in here. So throw in your questions, let me know where you're from, and hit that like button. So how's the market where you are? So it's pretty hot. I'll let more people fill in. It's pretty hot. I think that's what Kyle means by terrible. It's hard to find deals right now, but they're still out there. That's the kind of what's going on right now. There's good deals out there still. They're hard to find, but there are good deals out there to find if you're willing to roll up your sleeves a little bit. Metaphor, don't have sleeves. But if you're willing to do that, you will find deals for sure. There are just different ways to come across them. Drive for Dollars is a great one that a lot of people use that should. If they're not using it, they should definitely use Driving for Dollars. It's a great way to find deals off market. So if you don't know what it is, download the DealMachine app and use the code SamFasterFreedom to get a free trial. Might as well try. It's freaking free trial DealMachine SamFasterFreedom. So the market's pretty hot. Let's get some more feedback and then let's move on to how to create wealth. Nova Scotia market is very expensive. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Does anybody? The market is amazing in St. Louis. There we go. Our first Facebook. We haven't been going live on Facebook. We've just pretty much been doing it on YouTube, but we're trying to do a little Facebook. So thanks for being here, Facebook. Like this if you have it. So let's talk a little bit more about the market. So currently 160 to 240 per square foot. It's hard to come across deals or even distressed properties. It is hard to come across deals. So I've already given you one way. Drive for dollars is a great way to come across deals. So and then you can also use batch leads, which is a way to find deals. It's like PropStream. It's a way to find deals. You will find deals and get training there if you want it. So batch leads, if you want it for deals, use code FasterFreedom for free training, and DealMachine FasterFreedom for free training and a free trial. So those are free ways to find deals right there. You can get a deal in your first week. Hot areas in California, pretty much all of California is hot, in my opinion, Heidi, even though people are leaving California. California is a weird state. But the market is hot in general, okay, ladies and gentlemen? No matter what market you're in, the market is hot. And no matter where you are, whether you're in rural Oklahoma or, northern Texas or southern Texas or California or New York or Minnesota or Oregon, the market's hot, but you can make money in real estate in any market. That's the really, really cool part about it. What's up, Foundry Properties? The market is amazing. How many rentals you got, Foundry Properties? How many rentals you got? So it's really hard to find deals. Now, fill the question up. I'm going to talk about the market and talk about how to create wealth right now. So this is a great, I'm going to try to simply explain how people create wealth without using any of their own money. That's what I'm going to try to do for the next couple of minutes, and then we're going to answer all your questions. So fill that chat box up with questions. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that damn button, even if you're watching the recording, and answer these questions even if you're watching the recording. So, real quick, 40 rental properties, Foundry Properties. How long ago did you start investing in real estate? All right, just saying that because he's been part of our mentorship and he's crushing it. So the market's hot, but no matter what the market's doing and no matter what part of the country you're in, you can make money investing in real estate. Just plain and simple, not really a what's up, Ben? There's my guest from a couple weeks ago, a little big apartment broker. He does a lot of apartment deals in the St. Louis area. So don't call him. He's mine. Just kidding. Ben does a lot of good stuff. Nice to see you, Ben. So no matter what part of the country and no matter what the market's doing, you can make money in real estate. Is it hard to do the Burr method and own single family rentals in downtown Los Angeles? Yes. So that's a great market to wholesale or fix and flip. Is it, can you make a ton of money wholesaling per deal in, Oklahoma? No. But it's a great market for rentals. So depending on your market and depending on what you want to do, you can make a lot of money. A lot of people that want to own rentals and they live in California or live in New York own rentals in the Midwest, and they fix and flip and wholesale in their market. So market specific strategies are just where you need to lean, but you can make money in any market and any market cycle as well, as no matter what's going on, if you just have multiple exit strategies and understand how to find deals. Foundry, in 4 years, I've collected over 300 deals. And he's been a part of the mentorship since for the past couple of years. It's really helped him, and he is crushing it. Dusty is the man. All right, so let's talk about how to create wealth. So most people will never create wealth in this world, or most people never create wealth in general because they just don't understand how. So I feel like this is really valuable information. So make sure to fill up the chat box. Give me some follow-up questions. There's a bunch of questions that were asked earlier that I will get to that I can see up here on the screen. I'll get to them in a second, but I want to try to give you the most impactful thing I can for these next couple of minutes and try to help you understand and help you see how you can create wealth, because most people don't know how, or won't, or don't even think it's possible. So anybody on here can create millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of wealth without using any of their own money if you understand how to leverage debt. So let's talk about leveraging debt, because that's what all wealthy people do. The wealthier people get, the less they pay cash for things. Let me repeat that. The wealthier people get, the less cash they use, the less of their own money they use. So when businesses start, when Amazon started, when Facebook started, when all these successful companies started, they all started out with debt. They borrowed money. So why wouldn't you try to be like them? Why wouldn't you try to emulate what's already been successful? History repeats itself. So get on that side of history repeating itself, with the wealthy get wealthier. That's how you do it, through debt. Now that may sound counterintuitive, and feel free to fire back at me on the comment section, but creating wealth, the only way to realistically do it is to go into debt. Can you think of one other way to create wealth that doesn't require you having cash? Name one way to create wealth that doesn't require you having cash. I don't really know that there is one out there. because I just have looked and there's no other way besides owning real estate. So if I borrow money from you, meaning go into debt to buy this phone, like you gave me $1,000, $1,500 to buy this iPhone 12. You gave me $1,500 and I have to pay you back over the next year. But I take this phone and I make money with it, and I make more money with this phone than I owe you. So you get paid back over a year through the money I made to buy this phone. I didn't use any of my own money to buy this phone, but I'm using this phone to create money, and I'm paying you back with the money I create with this phone. And I'm getting money on top of it. So I didn't use any of my own money. I'm paying you back plus interest, and I'm getting cash flow on top of it. And then a year from now, this phone's paid off. I paid you all the money back plus interest. I paid you $1,500 plus interest. And now all the money I make with this phone goes directly into my pocket. I don't have to pay anybody. So that is the concept that people use to grow wealth, whether it be using wealth to buy a rental property. I guess that's properties behind me, using wealth to grow a rental property, or using debt to grow a rental property, or using debt to buy real estate or buy a business. Wealthy people and wealthy businesses use money. They borrow money at a low percentage. They buy something that produces cash and grows in value, whether it be real estate or a business, and they take the cash that real estate or business produces, they pay off that debt until it's paid off, and then they own that real estate or that business, and now they're just cash flowing like crazy, and that business or real estate continues to grow in value, and you don't even have to pay anybody back anymore. So that's a beautiful thing about growing wealth that most people just won't understand. And maybe I did a horrible job explaining it. Maybe you won't even understand it. But creating wealth can be done for anybody. You're not going to create wealth investing in a 401k or an IRA or work for somebody else your entire life. You can get by, you can retire when you're 65, and you can, give your kids a few $100,000. Like, you can do well and you can, have a good life not creating wealth. But if you want to create wealth, the only real way to do it is to borrow money from other people to buy assets that produce cash and grow in value. And the best assets that I don't think anybody can argue that produce cash and grow in value is real estate. I don't think anyone would really argue that. So make sure to hit that like button if you have not. I would really appreciate that. Hitting that like button and sharing this if you have not, and starting to fill this chat box up with questions. We can talk a little bit more about wealth and debt. And then let's get to some questions. So I see some questions on here, so I'm going to kind of start from the top. I will get to all the questions. So here we go. Let's pull the questions up right now. Hey, Sam, is your mentorship lifetime? Yes, it is, Anthony. Lifetime access to me, myself, my team, all the resources we create. We just launched a new product that everybody that's been a part of it gets access to, a Facebook group and coaching calls. So yes, DM me on Instagram if you're interested in that, or go to, where is it? freerentalwebinar.com for the free training and information on the mentorship. But let's continue to fill up this chat box. Great question here. Once rehab is done and you have a renter, how many months of cash flow does the bank want to see if they'll cash out refinance? Great question, William. So William's talking about the BRRRR method. Just kick that chair. He's talking about buying a property, fixing it up, getting it rented, and then refinance to the bank. How long is the bank going to want to refinance? Because then when you refinance to the bank, it's when you pay back your initial lender. That whole phone borrow thing, it's a ramped up version of that. But we're talking real estate. It depends on the bank. If you go into the right banks, no time. I mean, we buy, rehab, refinance, then rent. We refinance before we even get a renter in there. But if it's your first deal and it's a new relationship, banks will maybe want a month or two, maybe 3. Most won't want 6 off the bat. If they want 6, I would find another bank. There's banks out there that will do it left. They would do it less. Left. All right. How do you find a good contractor? Aaron said. Great question. So they're hard to find. You do that through joining your local Facebook groups and meetups. I know, Aaron, you came to our meetup. You're in Central Illinois. We're in St. Louis, so you're a little far away to get our contractors. But the local meetups are where contractors go, good real estate investing contractors. So go join your local meetups, join your local real estate investing Facebook groups, and you will meet contractors and have references. Ask around, and then treat them well. I know it's a tough question, but we do a lot of business, and we still, struggle finding good contractors sometimes. So it's just a constant battle. If this was easy, everybody would do it. So that's one of the battles that you're going to have, but it can be done, and you'll learn, and you'll start to get good contractors, and you'll understand how to grow them. For refinance, you always do 30-year and always pay the minimum mortgage amount. Great question, Raymond. No, most banks won't do 30 years if you're doing a commercial loan. You can do 10 in your personal name with 30 years fixed, but that's going to hit your personal credit score. And it's going to take you time to do that. If you want to scale quickly, You're going to want to go to commercial banks, small local banks, and they will usually do 20 to 25 years max. But to answer your question, I think what you're saying, yes, I get as long of amortization period, as long as the note as I can, as the bank will allow. And I just pay the minimal amount possible because I'm worried it's a new business and you'll have a new business. You need cash flow right now. So if you haven't hit that like button, hit that dang like button, you MOFOs. All right. Any areas California recommend? I already answered that one. So I'm getting caught up on questions. So throw them in there so you don't, so we can continue to chat as long as you ask questions, as long as I'll be talking. How can I get a walkthrough if I don't have the money yet when the seller wants proof of funds? Do I need to get pre-approved by a hard money or private money lender? Yes, Joe, great question. So if you're wanting to get a property or wholesale and you need proof of funds, just get the property under contract. If they need that proof of funds, you can get a proof of funds letter from a private lender or a hard money lender. Or, lots of sellers won't need or want that proof of funds. If you're going to distressed houses and finding, deals that somebody just needs to get out of and you're really helping them out, they're not really probably going to worry about that proof of funds. But for the people that do, you can 100% get approved from private money or hard money lender. You're crushing it, founder. Yeah, Dusty is a beast. What's up, Alejandro? How you doing, my friend? You've been on my stuff recently. I appreciate it. Serious question. All right, let's get serious. That's my serious face. Serious question. What would you do if you were just starting, live in a smaller market, and there's one company that completely dominates and fix and flip rental game? How can you compete? You can definitely compete if there's only one. I mean, I get it, trying to mindset here stuff, but I mean, we're in St. Louis and there's like 5 or 6 big players. Like, it makes it a little bit easier if there's only one. I know people that, their one person crushes it. That should be easier to take down one than take down a ton. There's more of a chance for you. So I wouldn't get too discouraged. It's going to take time. You're not going to be the second biggest dog in town overnight, but do everything. I would get to know my local investors. I would join my local Facebook groups. I'd probably get a mentor, either my mentorship, obviously, or just, another mentorship out there that can help you kind of fast track you to where you want to go. And you're not experienced enough to go to a different market yet. So a lot of people go to a different market right away. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but there's probably going to be more competition in those other markets. So Kyle, let me know specifically where you talk about, if you don't mind. Here's another good question. If you go the hard money lender, how do you know if it's a good hard money lender? That's a great question. So know if it's a good hard money lender. If you're in St. Louis, Faster Funds is who you use. That's a no-brainer, Faster Funds lending. But if you're not in St. Louis and you're looking for hard money lenders, find ones that have good reputations. Most of these companies will have Better Business Bureau reviews, ratings and reviews, Google reviews. Ask other contractor or other investors who've used them. Just ask around. Real estate investing industry, even in big markets, is a small community. So just ask around and see, get references for people who have used them and ask references for them. You can tell if they're not wanting your information or seem sketchy. They probably are, but there's a ton of really, really good hard money lenders in pretty much all markets. Do you recommend having most properties paid off before buying more to avoid over leveraging? No, JP USA, I do not. I own 167 rental properties with Lucas, and we have debt on every single one of them, and I'm not planning on paying off anytime soon. Eventually, I'll pay them off. But if you grow, pay off, it's going to be, technically, it probably take you 5 or 10 years to pay off a property. So it takes you 10 years to pay off a property if you scale it quickly. So in 20 years, you can own 2 properties. Or if you learn to leverage debt properly and not over leverage, you can own 250 properties. I own 167 in the last 5 years. So if you want to scale, and if you're buying at discounts, you're financing 100% of your cost, but not 100% of the value. Meaning, my rental portfolio is worth $21 million. I owe $13 million. So I owe $13 million worth of debt. That's a lot. Oh, you're over leveraged. Well, it's worth $21 million, and it cash flows, and all my expenses are covered. So 13 million is a lot, but 21 million is more than 13 million. And that 8 million spread is, I feel pretty secure there. If the market does dip or soften, it's not the end of the world as long as I'm still collecting rent and I'm confident in my ability to collect rent. If that makes sense. All right, keep the questions coming. Kyle, you're Victoria, Texas. So yeah, there's so many areas in Texas. You saw that earlier. You mentioned that now. So yeah, your market sounds like it's probably pretty competitive, but or it's got that one competitor, but you can definitely get a stranglehold in that market or start to ease your way in. It's just, all this is just so much in your head. Your first deal is going to be your hardest, Kyle. Everybody's first deal is going to be hardest. Your second deal is going to be hard as crap too. And your third deal is too, but eventually it starts to get easier. Once you get to your 10, 20, 30th rental, things get pretty easy. The only way you get there is going through that hard crap first. So that's why most people don't do this, because it's hard. I explain it to everybody, and everybody simply thinks that how I explain it, oh, you make it sound so easy. No, I don't. I make it sound simple because it is simple. There's a difference between simple and easy. And it's simple to buy rentals with the BRRRR method. It's simple to wholesale. It's simple to fix and flip real estate if you break it down to truly what it is. But that doesn't mean it's easy. It can and is hard to do. That's why most people don't do it. But if you're willing to push through, you will be just fine. I promise. How do you know how much you expect a contractor to charge? You should get bids on things, or ask them generally what they are per hour, or if they're going to bid the job. Just get numbers from them. What do you recommend one does at their first real estate meetup? Small talk? Yeah, I mean, so you go to your local real estate investing meetup group. If you're in St. Louis, Faster House Buyers Club for sure. But if you're not, like most of you on here, just go, and if you're kind of an introvert, you don't have to talk to everybody. Just go and take it in. It's monthly. There's probably a couple in your town every month, and just go and see which vibe you like best. And then the next one, go talk to 10 people. The next one, go talk to 10 more people. You don't have to just come in, balls flying and just say, I'm here. Everybody look at me, give me your deals. You can ease into it and take it at your own pace. Just get to know people at meetups, because guess what? You're an investor. You want to buy houses, sell houses. You need contractors. You need insurance agents. You need hard money lenders. You need lawyers. You need all that. And they all meet in one place every single month. Us real estate investors are pretty smart. We like to be efficient. So everybody you're going to need to meet is at your local meetups. You just need to go there, and you don't have to meet everybody at first, but just go and start. Just getting started, getting in your car, driving to that meetup is probably either free or like $10 a month or $20 a month. Drive to it and just do it, and then just take it at your own pace. I missed a bunch of questions. Crap, I missed a bunch of questions. Sorry. All right, Corey, looking to buy a duplex, live in one side and rent out the other. House hack, I love it. It's one of the best places that people can start, because you're going to get some landlord experience. You're going to get some potentially fix up experience if you're buying it that needs work, and you're going to live for your expenses are going to go down, because probably having a duplex, renting one side, living the other, you're not going to have all your expenses paid for, but most of them will be paid for. So house hacking is what that's called. You can do it with a single family and rent to the rooms, duplex, triplex, or fourplex. You can do it that way, and you can do it like an FHA loan or buy it distressed with harder private money. So there's a ton of different options, but that's a great way to get started, Corey. I love the idea of house hacking, especially if you're willing to do that. I asked the recession question on your IG story. Awesome. Yeah. So if there's a recession, we're kind of in a recession now, but if the market or whatever dips, I own 21, I owe 13. If the market drops 20%, which would be like insane, I don't know that it even dropped 20% in like a 6-month period or a year, even in 08. Eventually it did. The bottom of the last big great recession was 12. So from 8 to 12, it went down. So, a huge deal would be going down 10% in a year. So my 21 million in real estate is now 19 million, and I still owe 13 million on it. That's still a pretty safe position to be in. If you're buying at discounts and adding value and collecting rent, a recession or a dip or a softening will suck, but it's not going to be the end of the world if you're not over leveraged and have good relationships with banks, I would say. Haley, is it smart to get a property manager for your rental so you can focus on building? Yes, I think that is smart, but I think it's also smart to manage your own properties if that's what you want to do. Kind of depends on your personality and your organization. And if you're going to manage your own properties not well, then hire it out. It's going to cost you money. And if you want to expand crazy, hire it out so you're not spending your time on it. But if you're wanting to add 5 or so a year, you can definitely manage that in-house, up to 10, 20 properties, probably with, 10 hours a month-ish in time. So it doesn't take a huge time suck to kind of grow. How to vet wholesalers and find a good one. So your local meetups, your local Facebook groups, bandit signs you see on the side of the road, those are all wholesalers. And you'll know, wholesalers should have a reputation. If they're brand new and don't have a reputation, that's not a bad thing, but a lot of them will get a reputation pretty quick, and you can ask around. Like, all this stuff is just getting to know people in your market and asking what they're doing. I'm not on Facebook. Is there any other websites or areas to find these group meetups? Yeah, meetup.com, Jared, or Eventbrite. EVENTBRITE.com, and then Meetup, MEETUP up.com. Meetup and Eventbrite are where you're going to find them, on Facebook. What will happen when I pass away and involve my, you decide that when you're setting up your LLC. You can have somebody value it, an executor get it valued by a company and sell it. You can pass it down to your kids. You can have somebody else run it for you. I mean, you got unlimited options, whatever you want to do. What do you recommend the first meetup? Small talk. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Just talk and say, don't go to these meetups. Don't act like you're the man or the woman. Just act like you're new. Tell them you're new. Most real estate investors will help take you under their wing, at least give you advice, if not literally take you under their wing and help you out, because, it's cool to help people out. A lot of people like to do that. There's vanity in it. It's cool. Look what I've done. And then also most good investors will see that eventually, if you do deals, you're probably bringing them to me first because I helped you out. Keep the questions coming. Try and roll through them all if you haven't figured it out. If you haven't liked this video, like this damn thing. If you haven't liked it yet, share it. Make sure you subscribe to my TikTok, my YouTube, my Instagram. I'm giving away a free mentorship on my YouTube right now. So go there, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch my last few videos that tell you how to enter. What if you found a motivated private lender, but the person may want to partner? I don't think that's a bad idea. If they're super motivated, they want to partner at first. People usually give up the most equity or the most interest at the very beginning. So just partner on a few deals with them. If it works out great, you can negotiate down after that and not kick them out, but negotiate their interest down, or, grow with them. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to have to give up more than you want on your first couple deals. See, I keep skipping all the way to the bottom. Maybe I should start to not scroll. Thoughts on Akron, Ohio market? Great rental market. Ohio is a great rental state. Akron, Ohio is a great rental market. How do you find local meetups? Aaron, you found ours, but your real estate and go meetup. I already talked about that. We're skipping on the question. How many houses should you have put? I would get an LLC before I buy any house, but that's just me. When first started, how do you prepare for vacancies? So you put money aside every single month. So we put 5% aside every single month of our rent for vacancy, meaning if we're collecting $1,000 a month in rent, we put $50 a month aside for vacancy. So at the end of that year, that $600 is just sitting there. At the end of that second year is $1,200. That's just one property. So you put money aside every single month for when the property is vacant to prepare for it, because the property is not going to be occupied 100% of the time you own it. What is your formula for the Burrs properties? Yeah, so the formula we use is ARV, which stands for after repair value. I guess just ARV, which stands for after repair value, times 75% minus repairs is how we do it. When are you planning to retire? Probably not for a long time. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy growing wealth. I enjoy helping people. Being financially free and being retired is different. Having more income coming in than your monthly expenses is financially free. Being retired is not working. I don't know if I'll ever not work. I like to grow things and grow businesses and help people. So I'll probably be working for a long time, but I enjoy it. It's not like work. Maybe I'll work less hours eventually, but I enjoy it. Do you think wholesale deals are more pricey than because they are off the market? No, usually wholesale deals are much cheaper than on-market properties. Now, there's 3 properties you can get. There's direct to seller, meaning you're the one that's buying it directly from the seller. That's the cheapest. The next is from a wholesaler. It still can be very inexpensive, but they're going to mark it up a little bit. And the third is on market, which there's not any deals on there right now, out there on market, or very, very, very few, because there's so much competition out there. YouTube Live is glitching. Is it still glitching? Is it me or is it y'all? Let me know if it's still glitching or not. Is it still glitching, y'all? Let me know. What is your favorite way to create an LLC? So there's a lawyer, but when I first started, I didn't want to pay a lawyer, didn't have money, so we did it on LegalZoom. So LegalZoom, and I do a lot of it myself. I can do most of it online, just the operating agreement through a lawyer now. So it's pretty simple to do. Is it still freezing, y'all? Who should you bring with your counsel when you're having an appraiser? I think you and the appraiser meet them. Meet them with, documentation showing what your value is, meet them with documentation showing how much you put in the house, and just meet them and talk to them. I'm on my phone having no issues with live. Great. Oh, it sounds, just want to make sure, as long as it wasn't me. Hasn't glitched for me. Great. No longer glitching. Cool. Nice. Where else? What other question? Let me scroll back up. I know I missed a few. Is it better to have a partner? Now, this is a great question. Yes and no. You can get more done with the partner, but it's got to be the right partner, especially if that partner kind of skill set offsets yours, kind of a yin and a yang. If you're more sales, marketing, negotiation, outward kind of a person, it's going to be tough for you to have systems and processes and all that. Like, you can do it, but it's going to be hard. So if you can find somebody that has your passion, your core values, and going to work hard, and they bring the operations, the financing, all that to the house, then that's a partnership made in heaven, as long as you guys have the right, opposing, you have the same views and growth strategies, but opposing skill sets. If you both do the same thing well, eventually one of you might be like, why do I need this person? Why am I splitting my profit with them? But as long as you have somebody that, offsets your skills and helps you grow, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. At all. Let me see the question. I think I've answered a lot of these. on there. So I go live every Wednesday here on YouTube. Every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central. I go live on Instagram and TikTok probably 5 times a week on each. So make sure you're following my TikTok, my YouTube, and my Instagram for a ton of free advice. I do have a mentorship. If you're interested, check out that free training below or DM me on Instagram. I'm giving away free mentorship in a couple weeks on my YouTube channel. So subscribe now to see how to do that. I'll answer a few more questions. How do you handle issues down the road with properties and new roof? You accrue for that. But if you use the BRRRR method, which I do, you make sure you have at least 10 to 15 years left on that roof. So you're not going to have to replace for 10 years. 10 years from now, you're going to create so much cash from that property. There's going to be so much equity. And you're going to put so much aside every month that if the roof does, it's a $5,000 roof 10 years from now, that's not going to hurt you, especially if you have multiple properties. What are average private lender terms that you've seen? 8 to 12% APR, so 8 to 12% annualized. So if it's a $100,000 loan and you have it out for a year, that's $12,000. Hopefully, most people want it six months or less, so that would be $6,000 if it's a 12% at a $100,000 loan. So 12% APR. The question cycled, I typed it once. You're good. No, yeah. Some questions don't get in there. Actually, honestly, I go back and look, and some of them I miss because if you see my screen, I'm scrolling. There's comments, questions, a ton of different things that I scroll past on accident. But every single question answered on here, is answered on my YouTube. Every single one. There's over 200 videos. So if you're not subscribed, hit that damn notification bell. Not very many people hit that, and I would like if you would hit that. Do it. And then TikTok and Instagram are good to follow as well. How much you're mentioning. So there's different levels of the mentorship. So if you at all interested in mentorship, go to that link at the bottom, freerentalwebinar.com, watch a free training, and then you can schedule a call to chat with me and my team to talk about the options. There's no like crazy hard sales pitches, just different options that are hard to explain on here. What's upfront cost with private lenders? Zero. Most private lenders are zero upfront costs. That's the beauty of private lenders. You don't have to pay them anything up front, and you don't even have to pay them throughout the process until you refinance it or sell it. At that point, you pay them. So most private lenders is no money out of pocket ever. And that's how we do what we do. So awesome. Well, great questions, everybody. Subscribe to my YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Please share this if you haven't. We'd love to go see you on the live next week on Wednesday at noon or at 2 Central. I guess that would be noon, Pacific time. All right. See you on the next one. Subscribe to my TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, crazy MOFOs.